Look Live Sunshine is basically you put the record in and you kind of get introduced to your narrator, Dr. Deathifying, and you kind of hold your hand a little bit just to kind of introduce you to the world. You see the landscape, and then before you really know where you are, he lets you go, and you're kind of in the middle of the shit, basically.
Nana was kind of the big bang of the album, where it was like that kind of destroyed everything we had already written and kind of set a bar for what we were about to write and kind of set a vibe for what would become Danger Days.
Bulletproof Heart. That was one of the songs that made it over from, I guess, our first attempt. It was originally called Trans Am. It's kind of, I think it's a song that kind of maybe hinted at what we could start doing later on. So that's why there's some maybe, this talks about ray guns and driving fast and running from the cops and things like that. And so I feel like in a lot of ways that was kind of the genesis of wanting to do something greater.
Yeah, Sing is a very, very important song for the record. I think it was the third track that we wrote. Definitely a breakthrough track. I think it was the first song on the record where we were solely writing almost as music fans. I think any sense of genre, any sense of what the band is or what the band was just totally gone. The song was written purely from the heart, and that's kind of what the song is about. The song is basically, the message in this song is to use your voice, whatever means that is, whether you're an artist, you're a painter, whether you're a school teacher, as long as you're doing something that you love to do and making a difference, to me that's what that song is about. So it's, I think the most important song on the record.
Planetary Go is a song that I feel like we've been trying to write our entire career. We've always dabbled in dancier type beats, even back the first record, a song called Vampires Will Never Hurt You, and then I think it comes up again on the next record with To the End, and then on Black Parade there's a song called Sharpest Lives that kind of has it, but we never gave ourselves over to it fully until this record, and really that's one of the songs I'm most proud of on this record.
Only Hope is, it's one of the songs from the first recording. It didn't sound anything like that previously. It's got one of my favorite choruses on the album. It's got a really amazing, impactful intro, and it's a really great one to play live.
Let's start on the Kobra Kid. We wanted another moment on the record where Dr. D checked in with the listener and literally on the spot made up two characters that didn't exist and didn't need to exist afterwards, and I just needed like two characters that felt like maybe Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and you get this little rapport of these two guys dying. It's very, it was arbitrary but to a point,
Yeah, Party Poison, is kind of like a straight up punk rock track. It was actually a song that we recorded for the first attempt at the album called Death Before Disco. Some people might remember it. We played it in Japan at Summer Sonic and also in LA at the Roxy. And it was just a great rock track. So we decided to kind of rework it a little bit. Turned up the distortion, kind of made it louder than it was before. And it's a great track.
Save Yourself, I'll Hold You Back is a song that kind of came up early on in the writing process, and then kind of got put away, and then returned, and then got put away, and then returned again. It's a song that actually on some hard drive somewhere exists probably 3 or 4 different versions of that song, where it's one of those things where it's such a great melody that the melody can exist in lots of different feels and different tempos and different genres. So, and one of the things about this band is that we will always exhaust every opportunity in writing a song. Like, you write a song and be like, all right, that sounds really great, let's try it now, faster, or try it now, let's try it clean, maybe acoustic. And just to see, where the song wants to live and just make sure that we got it right. And it took us a while, but we finally got it right.
Scarecrow is something that, for a long time we've wanted a song exactly like that. It shows some of our other influences, like our shoegazing influences, like Lush and Teenage Fan Club. And, it's just that one note. It's that one out of two note, just wah, wah. It's just like through the whole song, that's a constant. And there's all this other stuff going on, and then the song branches out, and it's just a really great soundscape.
Summertime, well, that's the song where Mikey brought in this riff, and we slowly, bit by bit, kept working on it, and we just kept coming back to it because it's an amazing song. And it's the one song that Rob kind of asked me to just get really deep and get really personal on. He's like, you've been speaking about your worldviews this whole record and what you feel about things, but, let's hear something about your personal life, and so that's what that is.
Well, Destroya is really funny. The whole song really is centered around the drum beat, and the drum beat comes from a YouTube video that Gerard had seen at of the Holly Festival, and it's where all these people throw. It's kind of like a sort of spiritual gathering. People are throwing kind of like these colored powders on themselves and on each other, and they're playing these great big drums throughout the streets, and that's really what the song is based around. And it's really cool. On this record, we really stretched ourselves. A lot of times, our songs start with like a guitar riff or a chord progression. What's really nice about this record and Destroya in particular is this whole song is based around a drum beat. So we were really, really stepping out of our box when we recorded this record, and I think that track really exemplifies that.
Kiss From Yesterday, I think, is the unanimous favorite song from everybody in the band. It was one of the last songs tracked for the record, and it's a song that's really near and dear to me because it was actually finished the same week that my daughters were born, and it also meant something completely different to me before they were born, as in at the end of the week they were born, and then I listened to that song again, and it meant so much more. It's a song about growing up and at the same time holding on to your youth, and I don't know. It's one of my favorite songs that we've ever written.
Goodnight, Dr. Death. That's kind of it's kind of a sorrowful moment in the album where Dr. Death says goodbye to the listener, and it cues into our nod to American television, where when programming was over for the night, they played the national anthem. So it was kind of like us saying goodbye, and also like a nod to where we're from.
Vampire Money is awesome. The song almost wasn't on the record because we had felt we'd captured so much of that intense rock energy, but we loved it so much, we grew so attached to it. And then, so the original sequence that ended with, Goodnight, Dr. Death into the national anthem and this blast of sound, and you're sitting there, and I said, well, let's try Vampire Money at the end. And it had this crazy effect where it felt like the end credits to a film, and then we loved where it sat like that. So it was recorded second. It was recorded right after Na Na. It was a really amazing night where it's a live recording. The only thing that's overdubbed is just some extra gang vocals and things like that, but it's all this live recording.